Hey everyone, welcome back to some new tales from the call center. The first story is called Buy It For Me. Normally, Halloween is a really slow night for an insurance call center, but for some reason we were slammed. And this caller's thought process was easily part of the scariest part of the night. He was in a lapse of coverage and wanted to start a policy immediately. He was pulled over on the side of the road and the cop basically told him if he can get insured right away, it will just be a warning, not a fat ticket and his car impounded. In some states, cops have the flexibility to let you off the hook that way. So I put together the policy, and given the guy's record, it was pretty pricey, like $300 per month for liability only. But that's what happens when you collect tickets like 90s kids collected Beanie Babies. In the end, it turned out that he had no money to pay it. Shocker. So he is begging me to start him with no payment, which I can't do. And I'm trying to be helpful, suggesting we call family or friends when he hands me this one. Why don't you pay for me? I don't have any money. I'm really sorry, man, I really can't. I could lose my license doing that, and even so, I don't have that kind of money on me. Then all hell breaks loose with this guy. You're a salesperson, right? Then do your job and sell me this insurance. Use your commission or something. I don't care, but you have to pay this for me. I can't get my car impounded again. Pay it for me. There were a few seconds of stunned silence as I was processing this idiocy. Sir, I don't think you know how commissions work. First, I don't get a commission. Second, if I did, buying your insurance would be a lot more than any commission I would make. And third, it's not my job to buy your insurance for you. At this point, I can hear some muffled words, and then the police officer in the background asks the guy if he has insurance yet. No, I have no money, and the sales guy won't pay it for me. At this point, the cop says what I wish I could have said. You want him to pay for it? Do you do this at the grocery store? Fill up your cart with food and demand the checker pay for it? Get out the car, I'm calling the tow truck. And then there was silence as the guy hung up. The next story is called, but the last rep didn't say anything about it. I worked both calls and chats and even emails as needed. Last night I was working on the chats. I had a customer connect saying they never received their order. I pulled it up to take a look and they had about $500 worth of items in it. Apparently the package they received only had 2 items in it, and that really stuck out to me because there was supposed to be about 10. I didn't think anything about it at the time, maybe it was sent separately and tagged with a different tracking. I sent it to a supervisor to look at, and that's when they told me this customer looked like they had a pretty hefty history of not receiving the items. Multiple multi-$100 orders just missing. Our loss prevention got alerted, but we had an older system at the time and switched within the last year. None of those alerts were transferred over, so they were able to just start all over again, and we finally were catching on. So I let them know that they are going to need to file a claim with the courier before we can proceed, as my sub advised. And as soon as we got the claim number, we could get them a replacement. They were instantly angry at me. They just kept going off about how they aren't going to do anything. They ordered all the stuff and now they want it. I'm supposed to help them, they called the police and they wouldn't help them, and finally I want a supervisor. I told my supervisor and they were like, then tell them to call. So I did in the nicest way possible and they fought for a bit more before just leaving. Whatever, leave a note in the file, finish everything up, time to go home. Then I come in the next morning and log on, I'm on chat again. I get a notification for my first chat. Thank you for contacting us. How can I help? Hi, my order is missing. I'm so sorry about that. Can I have the order number? It was the same customer. Like, what are the honest to God chances? They were trying to pull a fast one by hoping they got someone else and we didn't communicate with each other. I decided, let's see where this goes. They obviously forgot to help them because my name is not hard at all, but you know how it is. Okay, taking a look now, I see that you were advised to file a claim with the courier. Do you have the claim number? If you do, I'll be happy to start the replacement process. What do you mean? Why do I have to do that? Can't you just replace it for me? This is where I start to hint that they are not as slick as they think they are. It looks like a supervisor took a look into your order when you contacted us last night. They advised that in order to further assist we would need their claim number. Literal silence for 3 minutes. I thought they left again. But then, can the supervisor check again? The rep didn't tell me any of that last night. And this is where I dropped it. Actually, I was the representative who was assisting you last night. And I do recall speaking to the supervisor about your order and advising you of the next steps. I apologize for any inconveniences, but I unfortunately cannot assist you until we have that claim number. It was dead silent again, and then they blow up. I already had a supervisor on retainer and they hopped into the chat to speak to them. I was ready to get broiled and burned by the customer while my supervisor did what they thought was the right choice. I knew I wasn't in trouble, but I wasn't excited to watch. Typically, the right choice involved giving in to the customer, but lo and behold. My supervisor sends the customer a link to where they can file their claim. The customer then decides that our business is shady, I'm an awful rep that doesn't listen, and they were going to slander me and the company on any given social media. Have fun without my last name or what I look like. Whatever. They also brought the police into it again, but I guess where last night they said it wasn't their problem, this time it was different. It was honest to God caviar gold to watch my supervisor stick up for me. And when the customer said I was rude, my supervisor replied with, I went through all of the conversation. And what I can see is you berating our representative for following my instructions. As she said, and I will repeat, you will need to file a claim before we can assist further. I am more than happy to wait if you would like to file right now and come back with the number. They disconnected. Win. Big win. My soup messaged me privately saying I did everything correctly and I wasn't booed at all. The last story is called I told Karen how I feel about her. I work for a large bank and deal specifically with servicing retirement accounts. Usually my customers are really nice. I always take a very casual tone with them and speak on a personal level. And I only get really uptight professional when I'm getting upset, which is rare in this department. I have quite a bit of patience and have only snapped on a total of maybe 5 customers. It takes a lot to get me there, but when I'm there I don't necessarily black out, but I can't control my mouth and I start shaking. Last night I had a man call in to reinvest his retirement account for a better interest rate. But when trying to renew it, I saw that he didn't meet the requirement to qualify for a special rate. So he would be stuck with the low one offered for the term he was looking for. I went over other terms, explained why he can't get the special rate and even offered to transfer in the other $500 from his large savings to make the account then qualify for the special. Of course, Mr. Customer didn't like this explanation. So he starts saying that because he's a high value customer, he deserves more interest. High value customer is just our bank jargon for they have a product that charges them $30 a month if they don't have over 25k in all accounts. I go round and round trying to explain to him how the specials work and that you have to have over a certain dollar amount to qualify. But he's not understanding, so he passes the phone to his wife. This is where things went downhill. The wife gets on the phone and I re-explain how the specials work and let her know that this account does not qualify for the special. She starts talking about how I'm wrong because her statement says blah blah blah. I explain to her that the previous rate they had on their account is 0.4% and she says no, it was 1.19%. They wanted 1.65%, which wasn't even an option for the specials or the bonus products, so I don't know where that even came from. I was slightly frustrated at this point. I explained to her what the rate is on the account that I'm seeing. We double check account numbers to make sure they are matching and then she starts getting disrespectful. No, you are wrong. Ma'am, I'm looking at the screen that displays the account. I'm not sure where you're getting that interest rate from, but that's not. She interrupts me. No, you're not listening. You don't know what you are talking about. Ma'am, you and your husband called me for help and I'm trying to help you to the best of my ability. I don't know what else to tell you. Well, I want a supervisor because all you people do is mess up. Your bank had to correct the same issue in the past. And obviously you are not trained properly to handle this. And you are very rude. This is not customer service. You keep cutting me off and talking over me. I'm not trying to. But I'm trying to have a dialogue with you. Not a monologue. You keep interrupting me while I'm trying to explain. She interrupts me again. No, you are not listening. You don't know what you are doing. What is your name? And who is your supervisor? My name is this. And my supervisor is this. They are not here right now, but I can submit an email and have them call you back within 24. Again, interrupted. No, I want them now. Now I lose my temper. I said what I can do is send an email. But they are just going to tell you the same thing I said. So you can take the email or I can disconnect the call. Oh no. I want them to call me back within 5 hours because you are losing your job. This isn't customer, sir, and now it's my turn to interrupt. Ma'am, I'm not going back and forth with you on an account that isn't even yours. So you can take the call back or get off my line. I pay your wages. Without me, you wouldn't have a job. You don't pay me. The bank does. Your signature doesn't go on top of my check. You can't qualify for a special, so what makes you think you pay me? Also, if you are so smart, then you can clock in for me and deal with people like you who think that just because you have some money, they are entitled to better than average things when you're just an average person. She starts going off about how I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm rude. And by the way, again, this isn't even your account. It's your husband's. So I'm done arguing with you and listening to your nonsense. Have a great night. And with that, I hung up. After I ended the call, I had like 5 coworkers run over to me to ask what happened. Apparently I was loud enough for the entire department to hear, which I'm the quiet one at work, so it was unusual. Nobody has ever heard me talk like that. I ended up emailing my supervisor and explaining what happened. I would rather have her hear it from me than quality assurance per the call and be like, she needs to take the walk. And it's not like I haven't heard worse from my coworkers. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye bye.